Are there a lot of guys like you in the pimp game? Or has it become like kind of like a gang banging, like
no
kind of deal?
No, like I said, and just to go back to it, it's levels to the Johnny. Of course, there's a bunch of happening up the block this way, that way, and the other way. But when there's a high class in this. Sure. Man, I've always believed in being a gentleman of leisure. You know what I'm saying? And having a classy woman. You get what I'm saying? Like that you can just tell in her appeal. You're not even supposed to notice that she's a hoe.
Yeah. Right.
Until like she's already done broke on you for everything.
Right.
That's when you'll figure it out.
What? They're not going to get me.
That's when you'll figure it out. Is by the time you figure out that she was a prostitute, right? You had already gotten your pockets broke on.
Mom, I need you to wire me some money. Man, she was a prostitute.
Good 10, 15,000. And what's so cold is you're probably going to call the back to come get another 4. For real.
Sharp, this is shaping up to be my favorite interview I've ever done, dude.
I'm just being honest.
And at the end of the day, we're sipping rosé, dude.
We're sipping a little bit of rose.
I'm lightweight, so
a little bit of rosé.
Twisted by the end.
Sitting back, like I said, hey man, I don't got no problems sitting back here and kicking the game with you because you know what? I even say this. I can sit here and explain this backwards, frontwards, up and down.
Well, that's kind
some
of
people still won't get it.
That's kind of what we do on this show is we ask the detailed questions that I think a lot of interviewers, no shade to them, overlook. So going back, you're from Detroit, which explains the game.
Was born in
Detroit, but you came up in Vegas.
Yeah.
Did you have pimping in your family?
No.
So, but you're in Vegas, so did you pick it up from the culture or?
No, just friends of mine, man. Just growing up, like, you know, I've hung around gang members. I've hung around drug dealers. I've been around drug users. I've been around a lot of different people. What I took a liking to was the game. I was already good at having.
Right.
So it was like, all right, I can't sell drugs. I can't sell weed. I'm going to smoke that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't be trying to sell what you do.
Yeah.
That's like you said, getting high off your own supply. Can't be, but
right.
Not a problem.
And so you just saw that women were would kind of flock to you, or you had women friends. You had friends that were girls from like a really young age.
The circumstances for us all.
What does that mean?
Meaning everybody, like the people that I've known, we're all trying to get out of the, you know what I'm saying? So we're all trying to figure out ways, whether it's men, doesn't matter. Everybody's trying, my circles, everybody's trying to figure out a way to win.
Yeah.
And don't care what the cost may be sometimes to get there.
And that was a viable economic option when you were 13, 14 years old. Kind of like, you know, back in the 80s, selling crack for like a young dude from Harlem. That was a real way to like come up on some money.
When I was coming up, the crack game was dying though.
Right.
So it wasn't like, there was a handful of crackheads, but there wasn't really where you can get out how they're trying to show you that you're going to make all this money. Oh, you can get out here, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars off selling crack. Man, crack done died.
Yeah.
There's new drugs on the scene.
Right.
And especially when I was like, okay, I can't sell crack. All right, I can't sell weed. I smoke that shit. You know, what am I great with? I see my partners, they moving. They having hoes. They making moves. They dropping off, picking up. They doing all this type of shit. When I was young, I say, that this is what I want to do. And from that point, I promised myself to never be broke again.
Wow.
Never be broke again and kept me.
Wow. And did they choose you?
That's the only way it goes. Gotta choose you. See, that's the problem with people. They always think that it's like, oh, you snatched her up off the corner and made her do this. Nah, that gotta come choose you, man.
Yeah.
She's doing this by herself.
Yeah.
She wants to choose him. She wants to be with him.
Now, is that because she's also looking at it as a hustle, as a way to survive, or is she in love with you and sees this as like a way to gain your love? Or could it be a mix of both? I'm
gonna be honest with you. I don't want her to be in love with me. I want her to be in love with my pimping. I want her to be in love with my game.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like once it starts to fall in love with you, it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
It starts to become a problem. Like what I mean by problems is because now everything that she's doing it out of emotion.
Yeah.
It's not really because she understands the layout.
Right.
She's just doing it because she likes you. And I don't, me personally, when I was in the game, I don't like with that are like that. Ones that just like just me. You ain't even got no substance even being here. I want to know that this is something that you wanted to do by yourself. You get what I'm saying?
I do. You're talking about like, as Willie Dynamite said, I want a mean animal. I
I don't want one that I sit there and like, I put all this, like, it's not going to work out. And I put all this force on all this pressure on the, that's not going to work, Johnny.
Well, you also don't want a secretary in love with her boss, right? In any field.
Love me, but don't be in love with me.
Yeah.
Don't try to, don't, like, I want you to love what I do for you and around you. Like, love that.
Okay, but what, your first hoe was like.
I fall in love with my face, my voice, my smell. That fall in love with what I can do, because that's the problem with a lot of these out here, and that's why they find themselves in up predicaments.
Right.
It's because they're just liking the guy for the time. You don't even know what you really like about him. A face, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. The way he might have said something. That.
Yeah.
Find the purpose of why you really that person. I bet you y'all will soar. Everything will strive.
So then, what kind of? Look, I'm already talking like you, bro. I love this. What kind of wants to sell for a 13-year-old? And like what back then could you do?
Well,
for
we were all
like
lying about our age, man. I was lying, of course. I was lying about my age. I wasn't telling I was 14, 15 years old. Like, I knew how to carry myself older. So I knew how to mask it a little bit better. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to them, they probably thought I played off like I'm 18, 19.
Yeah.
It's like 24, 25.
Yeah. Were these black women at the beginning?
No. Color is no preference in it.
Oh, but I'd like to ask you about this.
Why
because
would you ask me if it was black women?
I'll tell you why. Because
You better have a good reason.
sure, I got an answer for everything. Because
I'm getting smoking.
Do it,
right?
do it, absolutely, bro. You do whatever you want.
This is the connect, right?
This is the connect.
All right, well, I'm gonna connect this lighter. This
do that. I better pass that when you're done, up.
I got
you. Black men always say, like, the stereotype is the black men are like, black women are so hard to deal with. You know what I mean?
Ooh, black women are hard to deal with.
Black women are hard to deal with. This is why every black guy, the stereotype is I'm going to get money and I'm going to get myself a white woman. You know what I mean? So the same would, I guess, hold true for pimping. It's harder to pimp a loud, outspoken, defiant black woman than it is like a snow bunny who ran away from her parents in Reno. Is there any truth to that in the game? Did you find it easier to deal with, a white woman, an Asian woman, than you would a black woman?
When you define a black woman, right, you say loud. They want to say loud, ghetto, want to say all the shit, right?
Being stereotypical, of course.
I've met women in all colors that act like that. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
That act just like that.
Sure.
So I don't even think it's like just black women. I think it's a style, it's a cultural style, it's a way of living. The louder woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's got anything to do with the color of their skin. I'd have met white women that were more ratchet than black women.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? I met an Asian woman, bro. You would thought she was, like, who is this on the line? Like, you know what I'm saying? Insane. Right. So, and like carry those same traits that you were mentioning. So when I look at it, I'm like, I never had any, it was never about color to me. Now, the problem was Tricks had a preference to where they felt like they would want to pay a white woman or a Mexican woman, or not even Mexican. They just want to pay white women. They'll pay white women a substantial amount of more.
So they got the highest dollar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to pay a substantial amount of money than they would want to pay to my sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think it's because there's some beautiful ass women out here. I don't know. Because I done met some black that get dope.
Bro, yeah.
Like, I'm talking about really, I'm talking about really break the bag on a. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's a fetish too, especially for white men, rich white men. I mean, dude, I remember
Shout out to my sisters, man.
Bro, one of the most gorgeous black women at Spearmint Rhino in Vegas. This is
fine as
bro, fine. She was so fine and so cool. I was on ecstasy. This was before Ball and Johnny. This was when I was a broke, struggling comedian.
He was just outside around.
Bro, I was at a bachelor party there. And I didn't have enough money to like really like pay these chicks. So I was hanging out at the strip club looking like the coolest ever because I was like, nah, baby, I ain't tricking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they would become interested in me because I wasn't spending money on them. And I asked this black woman, I'm like, you're so bad. I just kept it like a buck with her. I was like, you're so bad. Like, what would it take? Like, how much money would it take to get into bed with you? She's like, you don't even have the dollar amount. I was like, good on you, baby. Now I'm gonna go back there and see if I can change your mind.
And
But
not all, and I'm gonna be real with you, like even like fine ass black, like you know what I'm saying, black women that are strippers, not all of them are selling.
right.
Just like the white who meet in the strip club, she might not be selling. It's everybody. Like I just like, and it's not you, Johnny, because that was a good way to bring it up. I like that, the way you kind of presented it and put it out as an angle. But nobody, bro, it can happen to anybody. Okay. I just want you to get away from the from race. But when it comes to it, it doesn't matter.
So your qualifications, though, I mean, because white women tended to get more.
I just like a bad with a good head on her shoulders.
Okay.
Man.
So that's what you look for.
We can get far. Hell, I can get the dumbest white from next door. She don't know.
Right.
It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? I want a strong woman. Hey, whether that's a strong black woman, strong white woman, strong Mexican woman, strong Asian woman. You can't, when you're in this game, bro, you can't be like that. That's not the way it works, or you ain't gonna have too much. Or you being in the game ain't gonna have longevity.
Well, how long can a hoe have longevity?
That's why you always got to get them young. And what I mean by young is like 23, 24. So that way, man, you can really smash. You're gonna get about a good 14 years about the.
Jeez, really?
Yeah. You always want to get them like that. Like if you're trying to get a real, like where she ain't got nobody else's problems, because you start getting that are 31, 32, been in the game.
Yeah.
She kind of tainted.
She's bitter.
She's bitter about a lot. She got a lot of problems. She done learned this game and where he's and his up traits and up ways. Now she feels like she can come in and bleed that onto you. As if her is 23, 24, fresh getting in the game. She don't know nobody but you, baby.
Yeah.
She don't know nobody but you.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So now she's picking up your traits, your game. That's how you know you can put you a top-notch hoe out there now, because she's got your mental.
She's malleable. You can show her the ways.
Yeah, she's not over here, well, why? My last dude showed me this. Shut up. Care what your last one showed you. Anything. Obviously didn't work.
So what would be the goal of like a 23-year-old who's saying, yeah, like I choose you, Sharp, like I wanna go out and bust bunions? Like, is there like an end game, the way that like a pimp might say, I need
these days
$500,000.
I'm gonna be real with you. These days, gotta have her own spot, her own car. You gotta have some come with me.
Yeah.
You can't just have nothing. Like, I need you to be able, I need a ground base to start with. Then we can build. If you ain't got nothing, that's for a reason. You gotta watch like that don't absolutely have nothing.
Right. Okay.
Watch them.
But with that said, why would a woman who's already got a foundation in the butt business?
Because she don't know how to get over the hump.
And what is that?
And what I mean by that is, let's say this, right? Some chicks, hell, even her right here, she probably stacks up, let's say, off her regular job. She'll stack up like the most she probably ever stacked up. Just
you cannot knock Millie. She's
not knocking Millie.
She's
I'm just saying,
invaluable to our operation.
No, I'm saying like just even on a normal note, right? Like let's say the most she's ever probably put together is like 10 grand she's had at once. Type or 20 grand at once.
Right.
Let's say
from
like
tricking.
Yeah. No, just her working her rate like just regular job. Gotcha. But she can never get over the hump of the 20 grand. She'll get the 20 and then it'll start to deplete.
Right.
Then she has to work it right back up to the 20. It'll never get past 21, 22, 24. It'll never go up to 38, 72, 180. 300,000. It'll never get. She doesn't know how to get over that hump by herself. She plateaus. So it's the same thing with the game. Some of these they plateau. They don't know how to do it. They'll get up a certain amount of money and then they'll start blowing it.
Yeah, yeah.
You feel me?
Have you helped get that kind of money?
No comment.
Okay, but I guess that would be the best way to have longevity in the game is to help others, right? Is to make sure that everybody on your team is winning.
Yeah.
I'm going to make that assumption. I don't want to.
Everybody, listen to me. A bitch is supposed to with you to win. That's why it's called choosing up. You're supposed to choose up, not down, not in the middle, not regular.
And you know what's funny? That holds true in the square world. If I'm trying to woo a woman, she has to choose me first. You know what I mean? Like really, like the woman in a marriage, like the woman has to choose.
You're a square. You want me to tell you why? I'll tell you why you're a square.
I am a square.
And you know what? So I'm gonna level with you here for a minute, Johnny.
I've been in prison too, bro.
I'm gonna level with you here, right? You ever notice, like you've had relationships, right? You ever notice that you'll spend the majority of the time with that chick trying to prove to her that you're the one for her. You'll spend, like, for real.
Just
for the
one
average,
time I did. One time.
You get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like, you spend, if you're really trying to engage with a woman, you either, A, you spend time trying to prove to her that you're nothing like her last.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're trying to prove to her that you're the best that she could ever have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you spend a lifetime doing that.
That's a toxic relationship.
For
I
what?
did that for 2 years. I learned my lesson. I think men lose. I think lots of men learn that lesson and get over it.
Well, maybe we need to go start door knocking because we got some people to talk to around this.
Said though, yes,
because it's going on everywhere.
Yes, if a man is not doing well in his own life, right, financially, whatever, you know, societally, status wise, he will try to put everything into his relationship, and he will turn the woman off. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Okay, so you're 13, 14.
Yeah.
What is how are you pulling it off? How many girls did you have around that time?
I didn't like, I just want people to know, like, when I started, bro, I didn't pop off the porch with 10. Right. I didn't pop off the porch with 5.
Who could?
Like, man, you know what it always starts with? A chick you know in the neighborhood.
Right.
For real. And I ain't even gonna say like these was hoes. Like, these are just that liked me. Like, some of the ones, like, even after like that kind of like put me on, she was older. But I felt like maybe I was a little too young. I didn't understand. She put me on, like, to understand what was going on. That's what I think kind of hooked me. And then being around my friends, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's really going on. Because I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I was so young, I was blind to it. I didn't get what was going on. Yeah. You know, I'm around it, bro, thoroughly. So I'm not really. I'm trying to act like I know, but I didn't know.
Of course not. That's everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I used to be on Las Vegas Boulevard. I'd be sweating. I'd trip over my words, man. She'd get out of pocket, which means like she'd stop looking at the ground. She'd stop being away and to turn around and laugh at me like, you'll take your little ass home.
Right, right. But you have to. Everybody has stumbling blocks.
Then
when
years later, probably about 5, 6 years later, I was like the boogeyman. They could smell me in the wind coming. For real.
So what's the game in Vegas at this time? Are you taking it, you know, you taking your bitch and then putting her in the casino?
I'm going to be real with you. Like, it's kind of hard to around in Vegas, man. They do not, bro, let me tell you something. Pimping is not legal. It's not legal. Hoeing's not legal in Las Vegas. Right. Unless you go work at the Bunny Ranch or, like, you know what I'm saying, you go up to Pahrump, you work at Sherry's or Mustang Ranch, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Remember Dennis Hoff and them used to run that up there. You know Dennis Hoff?
No, he was in that.
You ever heard of him?
Yeah, of course.
Him, Heidi Fleiss, you know, all of them, they had that up there popping. Like, that was probably that's the only legal thing.
It's a misconception that pimping and hoeing are legal in Vegas because it is so rampant.
Yeah.
So
it's not. Now I don't want nobody to
really.
It's pimping and hoeing is very illegal.
Right. No, of course, but it's illegal in every city. But it is. You wouldn't say it's extremely prevalent in Vegas because that's where people come to be degenerate and gamble and you know, cheat on their wives.
Ain't getting down, and I ain't trying to put too much game about what goes on in Vegas because I know they be watching. All I can say is it's still going on, and people have figured out their ways around it.
Right.
But don't nobody want to get stopped by Vice. I remember being out. I was at the Bellagio one night, right, some years back. Tell you a story. I was at Bellagio. I seen this one little bitch. I done seen her before, so I got up on her. I started sweating her, and for some reason. You know, sweating her means like I'm trying to move her. I'm talking to her. Like I'm sitting in her ear talking to her.
Oh, we got our audiences. We're hip.
And I've seen the before. And I've seen her before. And normally she kind of moves away from me. This time she grabbed me by my arm and she was like, here, just come on, just walk with me. I'm like, what you mean walk with you? I had to kind of pick up that she had Vice following her. We go out to the valet. I'm trying to help them get up out of there. This ain't even my like, I'm just trying to help them get out of there. I can tell it's something that's behind us that we need to keep moving forward. I kind of I felt her whole presence. I'm like, what the We get outside and my car's in the valet. And I say, all right, come on. He slides up behind her, Vice. He slides up. He says, he slides in the ear. He says, tell your daddy you ain't coming home tonight. Takes her on, like, right? Whoa. Grabs her up, like, and starts trying to walk her back into the casino to take her to in-house. You know what I'm saying? So I said, man, what the He said, shut the up and keep walking. I said, man, you ain't about to do You can't pin this on me no way. So you, mother. Straight up. She was just walking with me.
Mm-hmm.
But like they see, bro, that eye in the sky, Vice be out.
It's hot.
Yeah, Vice be outside, bro.
So is that why you went to San Diego?
I mean, I've been going to San Diego since I was young. Okay. So it wasn't because that wasn't the reason of why.
Is that this right here?
What, this S on my neck?
Or is that the Seattle Mariners?
It's a Seattle Mariners sign, but I always said the S is for sharp and the compass is for it's going places.
Yeah, bet.
You feel me? Yeah, so like that's why I've had it for years.
Okay, you know what I mean? So a lot of people don't know this. San Diego, Seattle, Washington, these are very, very active pimp tracks. At least they were back in the day. Now tell me why let's start with Seattle.
Okay.
Where Gorgeous Dre, that was his territory.
And all that up there.
Yeah. Why is a place like Seattle, Washington so active with pimping and hoeing? And all that rain and
because there's money up there.
But
I'm gonna tell you this: if you see down somewhere, or if you see it going and you wonder why they're outside, it's because there's some money there. They've touched it there before. They know it's there, or one of their partners, somebody done told them, "Hey, you need to go over there."
Yeah,
it's not just happening for nothing, Johnny.
No, of course not. Of course not. But Seattle's Seattle's such a funny example, bro, because they're just such goofy white people up there, and it's just raining all the time. With some
goofy white money. Guess what? Everybody's bored. That's what that means, and everybody's looking to get into something.
Sure. Yeah, I think San Diego, I think it's the base. I think when there's like a Navy base, there's any place with like soldiers that are gone for 9 months, and then they're here for 3, and they just want to run wild, you know what I mean, and go pay for some. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think Seattle's the same way. They got like blue collar workers at the port. They got bases up there.
Why you think like a lot of chicks will go up to like Dakota and get next to them oil rigs?
Exactly, bro. Those guys have nothing to spend that money on.
Think about how much them oil rig dudes make.
Hundreds of thousands a year. And they live for 0. That's why the cartel's moving all that fentanyl.
And they live for what again? 0. They have they don't have nothing else to do but get some and drink.
Right.
Because they got to be right back to.
Do you think that like there are just cultural things about San Diego? Like it became, the market was ripe for some pimping, and one pimp told another pimp, and then it just kind of became this known place. Because I remember being locked up with dudes talking about pimping in San Diego.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, right?
Or Oakland.
Don't take it as, shout out to Oakland. This my up here. Don't take it as like, well, why you're mesmerized? How did it start in San Diego? Bro, there's a little bit of pimping going on in every state, in every city. There's some real ones from there. You know what I'm saying? So San Diego just falls in the matter at hand. And I don't really want to get into detail about how it kind of came together and why it's like that, but we've always been known as some cross-country gentlemen, so we're well-traveled.
Yeah, interesting.
So it was nothing to bring some of that game back.
Do you think, like, just the way the dope dealers back in the day, crack dealers from South Central were in Kansas City and Texas?
There was crack dealers and dope dealers in San Diego.
Right, of course. So
it's everywhere.
But do you think pimps are usually have a couple of different cities? You think they're usually moving around like that?
I mean, if you can, that would be ideal.
What was your experience like? Was San Diego like your main stroll? Was that your main?
I'll be real with you, man. Like, yeah, El Cajon was cool to play, but like everybody play the net or play the clubs.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You play that. If you wanted to see some dope, like I love the set down, getting her down, getting to some bread. That cool. But if I can touch it on the masses, your job is to keep the safe.
Right.
Put her in safe situations and not put her through hell and fiery flames and hula hoops. And you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to make it to where the can really get some bread at ease. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at the that still setting down, but I'm going to be real with you. If she ain't a Blade Runner, I'm trying to get the go get to some dough, man. You know what I'm saying? If that's what I'm doing.
Now, is that
if I'm in the game today, I'm playing the lines. I'm playing the clubs. I'm playing the lines. I'm playing the fancy restaurants. Hell, I'll play Target.
Right.
Who else I go play Target over to Target?
Yeah, there's some tricks at Target.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's a blade. Let me tell you something, bro. It's a blade everywhere you go. Everywhere you, and what I mean by that is it's whatever you make it.
Right.
It's wherever you, man. Whether you put in a club, whether you do send to Target, you got to be out there at Target 5 days a week. Getting.
You're too much, bro.
Getting it, bro. You never know. It's wherever, be able to get money wherever she sets her 10 toes.